Alright, so. Ooh, what else? What else happened? Not much. Well, not really much. At all. I think I've got my sleep schedule maybe kind of back to where I want it. Kind of. I mean, it's always going to vary, I think, a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, but... Could be worse. Could be worse. Granted, recording at, 1:30 while somebody's sleeping in the next room is not... isn't ideal, and I understand that. And eventually I would like to move out into an apartment complex, probably. So that might be a little bit of a problem. I do... I don't know, I wonder. Luckily, so... 100%, I want a studio apartment. I specifically want a studio apartment. Not like, even if like, I just want the smaller space. I mean, if it was more expensive, then you're getting some interesting, then you're going to get some interesting conversation out of me. But usually, like, I'm looking for cheap apartments, right? And I'm not the kind of guy who would be like, oh, I want a super expensive... I don't care where I'm at. Just as, I could not give a shit. I guess as long as, as long as the building's not falling apart, and as long as I'm not, patching bullet holes, I guess. Or having to, I don't know, worry about some safety concern. As, I'll just take cheapo apartment. Even if I had to choose somewhere to live for the rest of my life, I would be absolutely fine. I'd be absolutely fine taking an apartment. And usually, I mean, if it was the same building, same quality level, and like it was just like the studio apartment was for some reason slightly more expensive, you would get some very odd looks from me, because I would be like, why is that a thing? But see, so, and if you're new, so I have a kotatsu. It's not exactly kotatsu because I don't have a blanket and there's no heater unit, but it's modeled after a kotatsu. And it is about 7 by 3 feet wide, and, basically 7 by 3 feet in terms of the desktop, and it's, like coffee table size, maybe a little bit taller. And this is my desk. I've got my own, and it's in the middle of my room, and there's just, a ring of space around it that I can access the back of my computer from. And on the other side, and I can have some shelving units, or some shelving units. I can have some shelves in the, I can have some shelves in the, around the perimeter and everything. And with a studio apartment, then I just have to leave one wall open for, I just have to leave one wall open for, a bathroom and a kitchen, or a kitchenette thing, and that's simple enough. Maybe a closet if I'm lucky. And I can, and presumably, probably, the apartment will be a little bit bigger than my my bedroom. So, like right now, like I could probably squeeze in like shelves all around my room if I really tried, but they would probably be smaller shelves. But in an actual studio apartment, I figure I would probably, be able to get all the shelves and all the closet things I could use, and of course, soundproofing would be a thing I would want to put in, because that's kind of big. That's kind of important. But also I can have a closet that vaguely, or a sort of clothes rack that operates kind of like a kind of not really like a like soundproofing, but probably upgrade it with soundproofing behind it as well at some point, if potential future landlord, if the landlord agrees to it or is okay with it. But yeah, and I think, like, I don't know, whenever I do decide to get my driver's license, like I've hyped up the idea at some point of like an electric car, a gas car I converted to electric, and that is absolutely, yes, I want to do that. Whether I do it or pay somebody to do it, I don't know yet, but probably a light truck that can hold my Kotatsu slightly well. We'll see. Part of me wants to be like, well, if I could just literally pack all my stuff up in the back of a pickup truck and just move, that would be perfect. I don't know how well that would actually work, though. I could imagine that happening. But it's it would have to be very secure, though, because 7 by 3 feet, you can imagine the Kotatsu, and it can come apart a little bit. It's not so it's not going to be, it can work, but it's going to be kind of a little finicky, definitely. But theoretically, I should be able to like put the frame in the bed upside down, and then put the tabletop onto the underside, onto the other underside of the frame, and then put a bunch of stuff under there, and then strap it all down, like my life depended on it, because in that case it kind of would. So that's probably my moving strategy. I don't know. Hopefully I would only be moving 1, maybe 2 states over, so theoretically should be ideal enough, but getting a U-Haul isn't out of the question, obviously.